Okay. Does anybody have a notes or a way to recap what happened last time?
I think the last thing I remember, we were debating about figuring out where to and which way to go, because John reminded us about making sure there was nothing following our trail. But then eventually we were all thinking, and we would just have to get down there and down the pit, I think. And then after climbing down, I don't remember that much, unfortunately. We ended up wandering through this maze until we got to this pit of fire snakes, and that's about all I can remember.
Mhm.
Fought the bugbear. Sorry, go Chris.
Oh no, I was just said go for it.
Was the bugbear last time or 2 times ago?
I think it was last time. We did all of the whatever we did downstairs all in one fell swoop.
Oh, really?
We went down the thing. We fought the skeletons, the little plant dudes, the bugbear, and the rats, and then made the goblin dudes worship me.
That's right.
important.
I remember that. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then we barricaded that door and then traveled southward to explore that little crack.
Because you had heard that there was a
and the
shrine.
church.
Yeah, and you went and took a look at the shrine and found that it was at rest, not active in any sense. And then who was it? Jien who snuck in here and got smacked first? I don't remember. I think it was Jien who went ahead, but oh no, it was Connery. Okay, Connery went in and got smacked before he ran away. And then Tados held off a bunch of them by himself. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome. So you guys have been exploring the Sunless Citadel, seeking out some adventures that have been down here previously. So far, you have found the remains of 2 of the adventurers so far, if I remember correctly, or at least stories.
Yeah, I think it was the fighter and the ranger.
And the ranger. That's correct.
Yeah, we found the ranger later on because most every other NPC that we talked to said that they only saw 3 of the party members, and we know one of the hobgoblins had hobgoblin or bug. I want to say hobgoblin. The hobgoblins basically gave the fighter the axe, so to speak.
Yes, exactly. And then
did we break Hobgoblin's leg that one session?
Yes. In fact, let me go back. I'm gonna check the map real quick. If I remember correctly, yeah, he's still locked up in a room. So is Meepo. You guys just left them there.
Wow.
So, just so you're,
let's hope nobody
reminder,
catches up with us about that.
Down here, the fire snakes ambushed you guys and did a lot of damage, but you guys all managed to hold on. I think
just barely.
I think one person went unconscious, but I think the plan was for you guys to take a long rest, given the fact that all of your resources have been expended and you've been in like 4 combats, I think, since last time. And then you guys,
yeah, I think so.
Then you guys were aware that in the area of the labs where you found the goblins and had them worshiping you for saving their lives, Moku, and where you also discovered, and I think Connery took a sample of the potion that was being fed to the rat that seems to be infecting it with a disease similar to the rat that you had encountered in the area where you found Caracas's corpse. You know that in that area of the labs, there was a way to continue on to the west, delving deeper into the Sunless Citadel as you seek out Balak, the Outcast, and whatever else seems to be going on in this area, as well as the 2 other adventurers that you have come to find.
Speaking of, didn't we encounter the Outcast, at least just in passing? Not like we fought him, but we He encountered him at one point and he just bolted or
Nope,
something?
you guys have not yet had any interaction with the outcast. You have only heard things about
Okay.
him from goblins and from the kobolds. Both have mentioned him to you to varying levels of information, detail.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so you guys are here, rested. I think I was talking previously. I think I said we'll do loot when we get back because it had already been kind of a long session.
Yeah.
We were right at the end of the time that we were looking at last time. And our treasurer wasn't here, so I didn't want to make I wanted to make sure there was no confusion. Um, as you guys finish up this combat here, burned and singed corpses of fire snakes just laying about with pieces of stone still molten hot in areas near the corpses, the holes in and out all around the walls where they have been burrowing, radiating heat. You guys take a brief moment and kind of move the corpses out of the way. Carefully, Tados uses his fire resistance and armor to manage that before giving a quick examination of the area. And you actually find that these snakes, someone wanted to gain the favor of these snakes because scattered back in the areas where some of the snakes came out of, you actually find 7 sapphires that are worth 50 gold pieces each. So that's a good few hundred gold in this area. Okay. So, what do you do?
Am I revived?
You are conscious, yes.
Aren't we all gonna take a long rest anyways?
Yeah, I think the plan was to take a
Right.
long rest.
Yeah.
Want
You guys-
damage dealing spells.
Man, Jen almost
Oh, no.
died. Right? 2 death saves.
Dang, I missed an epic combat.
It was.
Yeah, we almost got murdered. We were not ready for these guys.
Oh no. Well, do you guys think this is a good place to take a rest? Like, there's a little choke point up here, so I mean, it might be a little bit easier to guard. I don't know if it's very comfortable or nice down here, though.
I mean, there's more holes in the ground, which is where they had come out of.
Oh,
so we should
okay,
probably
okay.
investigate that.
Yeah, we should probably look at the holes and then maybe.
Okay.
Try to pick them up with stones again.
Or we could always go into the temple or something because we know that's empty.
Hmm.
If
Okay.
I wasn't almost dead, I was kind of hoping to go back and check on Meepo and the hobgoblin just to make sure that they don't flop over dead since we left them locked.
That's gonna be a
They're rude.
long hike, man. That's gonna be a long hike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long, right? Or how long?
So
Actually, no, it
between
We
you
rested
guys,
a couple times.
you guys took a short rest before you came down. You came down, you explored and fought, and then explored and then fought again. So it's easily been a number of hours at this point, not minutes.
So, question
Mm-hmm.
with the whole, what's it called, the fire snake, was it?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of like using cunning artisan in order to like use its skins or use its pretty much.
So what do you want to make?
I was thinking of making. I don't know if it's like able to have like a fire resistant or something along those lines, enhanced weapons out of it.
Okay.
But if not, I would like to make like something along the lines of like
A fire resistant what?
weapons or armor.
Well, I don't know. Weapons generally aren't too worried about fire, and I don't
Oh, yeah, that's
think you
true.
can imbue a weapon with any fire properties. but some sort of
Okay.
armor from their skins. Okay, but for armor for whom? Because you, as a barbarian, I believe, are not using armor currently.
No, I'm not.
Do you want to make like a
And
cloak
definitely
or
not
something
me, since
to
I have
try and
an
add
armored
some fire
defense.
resistance? What are you thinking?
I was thinking like along the lines of getting just like more weapons for myself. I was thinking about that, just like maybe getting like a secondary like a club or a javelin along those lines.
Hmm.
I don't know if this is relevant, but during my research for those practice builds, I find a lot of. I don't know if you could necessarily make the weapons just with a crafting necessarily. You'd have to imbue it with some kind of magic, and usually that would require some kind of spell casting.
Right, if you're gonna
And
add fire to it, but just making a regular weapon should be awesome.
Okay.
Let me see. If you want to make a club, I don't know that the fire snake's gonna have any pieces to it that would lend itself to making into a club.
But it has fangs, right?
It does have fangs.
Okay, so instead of a club, I will make probably better if I just like make more darts.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d4, and you can do that during the long. So you guys are you gonna rest here or not? Because if not, you can just collect the materials and we can just have the roll later. I mean, yeah.
I'm
Is
fine
it
with
r/d4?
/r space d4
/r
or /roll. Yeah. Oh, nice.
To be honest, my near-death experience has scarred me, and I'm kind of scared of just chilling
Okay.
with holes that we don't know about.
So what are you gonna do?
Sleeping in the temple. Should we sleep in the temple?
Probably should.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Do we want to look at the holes anymore before we get out of here, or are we done tempting fate?
Go ahead and roll investigation, Conrad.
Okay, one sec.
Since you would do that, just because you're here.
Boink.
25.
Oh, nice.
Yay for an int.
So, so as you
so
go ahead.
sorry. How many darts do I get? I rolled
You get 4 darts, and you can just put them in because it's smooth enough.
Yeah.
So as Conry takes a moment after the battle, his I think the tentacle lasts. Is it a minute or 10 minutes?
It's 1 minute, so it's 10 rounds.
Okay. So the tentacle that helped greatly in the battle silently fades away in magic as he begins to scour the area. It was actually at this time where the sapphires were first located, and also as he looks in, he sees the evidence of these creatures. Go ahead and roll me a nature check as well, please, Connor.
Okay. Oof.
Okay. And so he can tell that this area, the fire snakes are very territorial. There's not anything else in this area. And as you remember the sheer amount of combat and sounds that was happening, you look around at the 4 snakes that have been kind of piled over off to the side where Bowmander went and was taking some pieces from them. And you believe that if there were any other snakes that were living here, that they would have come out and fought with these snakes. At the same time, you also could you just know that there's holes in this area that are in the walls and in the floors and in the ceiling. So it's not completely closed off, even though from like a floor plan standpoint, it looks like the only entrance is from up above.
I will relay this to the team and basically say, yeah, let's go sleep in the temple.
Okay.
Ain't worth it.
I agree.
Okay. Xander actually kind of,
Yeah, let's.
before you even finished looking, he just looked over at you, got a feel from his edgelord brother what was going on, and decided to just leave before everyone else was even there. And you guys don't know exactly where he went, but he just kind of walked off. As he did, Tados noticed and kind of sits at the front, still guarding and waiting to hear. And after Connery makes a suggestion, he says, "All right, let's go." And he just starts walking off in that direction as well. Towards the shrine that was just a little bit over to the side. Okay.
Quick question,
Go
Will. Do I have 6 prepared spells as a second level druid with a +4 whiz mod?
Yes, you should have 6 prepared spells with a 4+4 modifier in second level. How many prepared spells did you think you had?
I think I was running around with 2.
That's very unfortunate.
That explains why I could do no damage. All right. Well, I'm gonna just throw in like an extra 4 and maybe not need to rest.
Well, you
then.
can.
Actually, I
Well,
still
no,
have
you don't
spell
get more spell slots. You get more spells prepared.
Yeah, but I
So you see the
have basically
spells.
only had Entangle and Cure Wounds.
No, so do you see the spells that have red dots next to them?
Yes.
So use the red dots to determine what's prepared.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
I
actually,
know that. I only had 2.
but you as a
but the tech magic actually.
okay, but as a land druid, you actually have more than 6 spells prepared because you get your circles. Oh no, you don't have them yet. At 3rd level,
That's
you'll
all
have
great.
more spells prepared because you get spells from your circle.
Okay, cool. Just good to know that I'm more powerful than I thought I was.
Yeah,
All right.
because on your sheet I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spells prepared. Oh, you get a couple of spells from your race.
From my
Mark
my,
of
my
handling.
race trait.
I
So
don't remember how that works. One moment.
I think it's either animal. I think it's animal friendship as well as talk to animals or something like that. And then I also have the creator destroy water from the gourd. So I just added one
the
of my
gourd.
now. So
The
I think
gourd gives
running
you
around-
shape water, not creator destroy water.
Sorry, yeah. Scrolling down.
Okay, so just make sure you only have 6 red circles after this long
In
rest.
total, or after the cantrips and the racial
So
traits and all that?
the red the cantrips don't have a spot for red dots on your spell sheet.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
So just make sure that you only have. You can pick any of these spells. These are all the spells available to you. Make sure you only have 6 of them with red dots after this long rest. I'm going to move your token over so that it's over here. Okay, so you guys come over here to do your long rest. Is there anything that you guys want to do besides Bowmander's creation of darts during this time?
See.
Wait, I have 2 failed death saves, right?
Yeah, but those reset when you revive.
All right. Yeah, I think after everything that was going on, I mean, I was obviously rushed to try and find the lost party members, but I guess in the back of Thea's mind, she was kind of, yeah, I know we've kind of thought about this, Chris. Just it's been a while since we talked about it, but Thea has been noticing more and more some things about Connery that just didn't seem quite right. I don't know how I would describe it off the top of my head since it's been a while since we looked at the information, but yeah, I have been noticing that Connery's been a little, I guess, uneasy lately. So I guess I would just have her go over to him and check to see if he's doing all right, considering everything we've been going through, especially the near-death experience with the snakes.
Okay.
Sorry, it's been like literally a month, so I'm kind of trying to recatch my bearings in my notes right now.
That's fine. It's been a while for all.
Yeah.
We could maybe do that. Give me time to read here. If people want to do other things, they're certainly free to. As I read desperately.
Jian had a near-death experience, and Moku didn't try and use fire against the fire elementals this time. So that's an improvement.
But we roll hit die, right? Is that long resting?
Long resting, you just get full hit points back at the end of 8 hours.
Beautiful.
Do we get our hit die back as
You
well?
get half of your hit die back. So
Okay.
whatever you would get 1 hit die back in this case if you had used it.
Yep.
Right.
Let's see.
Also, as a out of character moment here, Andy, I think after the fire snake thing, you might, and just as a out of character moment, I'm not saying Moku should do this, but after the fire snake thing, maybe try and come up with a spell that could do more than just fire damage. Because if we're gonna encounter more things like that, maybe find some more
That's why we're
damage types like cold damage or something.
Yeah.
Again, out of character moment, and Thea doesn't know anything about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited to rest because I can change my spells to be more offensive.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Alton kept people alive, as is his job. You guys see
no more slots remaining. So I was like, oh, I guess I did something. I don't even remember. I could have sworn I at least had that quadrant.
You used one of your last spell to bring back Jian from the brink of death, actually.
Okay. Well spent.
Yeah. You saved our bacon big time. At Theo/Acra, I think reading my notes, unless you had a more pointed question, Connery would probably just be like, "Yeah, I'm fine." That was rough, but all's well.
I think aside that may be so, but I think I've noticed maybe you've been having. Hold on, Connery's been wearing kind of a hood lately, or just been covering his neck.
I've been wearing a cloak, but yeah.
All right, yeah. So, I mean, even with everything going on, and I think Thea's noted that. Wait, hold on. Out of character moment. Connery, does he have dark vision?
He does have dark vision, yes.
All right. Well, that's a little. But he looks human.
Yes, I generally look human, except I have dark vision and I always wear a cloak.
All right. Well, Thea wouldn't be. All right. It's kind of readjusting what I'm about to say. Thea does know that there's races that look human, but are capable of having dark vision. But she knows that, and with Connery, he's been. I don't know. Maybe he's being more secluded, and she may not know that much because she's kind of and she's been raised in a temple most of her later years, most of her life anyway. So, I don't know. It's kind of I guess she's just kind of. All right, I don't really know how to word this, admittedly. Trying to.
There's some confusion and curiosity happening, I think, is the way to summarize it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, basically, she's trying to get some answers out of Connery based on some of his, I guess, behaviors and the quirks she may have occasionally seen.
Okay. Okay.
Like, especially considering with the fire snake thing, I think she would have suspected someone wearing a cloak like that would have at least taken it off for more mobility or something.
Okay. Sure. I need to think about how to respond to general curiosity. If people want to coordinate a long rest, we could.
Yeah, let's.
I can think
work
about
on
it
that
and then
long
maybe
rest.
insert a response somewhere in there. We don't have to hold everything up for this.
Okay.
Let me
All
think
right.
about this.
Yeah. That's
How
fine.
are you guys gonna do? Who's gonna take watches?
I guess I'll take the first watch.
Okay. First watch is.
I want to be at the end so that I can prepare spells.
So, question.
Go ahead.
Like, did I already make my bow by then, or
Bow?
is it? Am I still? I mean, not my bow. I mean, dart.
So
Sorry.
it takes you about an hour at the start of the. We'll say about half an hour actually. You actually pull out some of the teeth and some of the other small bones, and you with some tools that you have available to you in your own experience. You take about half an hour and you make up several darts that are then able to be put into your pack without any issue.
Bowmatter just chuckles and just be like, Bowmatter's gonna be stealthy next time.
It's gonna be interesting no matter what. Okay, so Akra's on first watch and Moku's on last watch. We got 2 other watches at least. I think that oh, you got 3. You're gonna cast the spell. You have spell slots left? I thought you were out of spell slots.
All of my spells were completely useless in that last fight.
You didn't use any spells?
I could have used like healing word, I think, or cure wounds, but nobody was like low enough that I felt it necessary, and the damage was better.
Okay.
Of smacking some.
Okay, so you have some good berries. 30 good berries. I think that Taros is going to stay up for first watch with Akra, who's going to take second watch.
All right.
Hmm?
That's fine. Nothing. Just saying that's good.
Okay.
Also, I already have water in this gourd, right?
Yes. Connery filled it for you.
Beautiful. Yes, thanks, my brother.
Okay. If no one will take second and third watch, I will roll for them.
I'll take third.
Okay, Connery will take third watch.
Or maybe I'll take second, and that we can use that as an excuse for
I can take
not
third.
Akra.
JT will take third watch. Alton.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so as Bowmander finishes up his dart creation, and Xander cleans his itty-bitty rapier and puts it away, Moku settles down off by himself, and you see a little bit of an arcane light up around him as he kind of somewhat silently casts good berry a handful of times, collects the berries into a pouch, pats them away, and then you see him kind of sit meditatively, and there's for those that have eyes to see it, those with arcane experience, they can see just a gentle light around him, kind of flickering and moving a little bit as he focuses on different arcane secrets to hold in his mind, fresh and ready to go. Connery is off, having spoken with Thea briefly, once again stepping aside to a small amount of isolation, while Jien continues to peer about with inquisitive and very observant eyes as he watches all those around him without often making comment. Alton, you hear just making noises, almost imitating the sound of a fire, and there's a whisper, just the faintest sense of what might have been warmth coming out even as you sit in a cold room down underneath the earth from his magic. and Tados and Akra move forward to prepare their watch, to take the first watch, as the rest pull out their bedrolls and settle in. During the first watch, once it seems like everybody's breathing has settled and it's just the two of them, Tados it takes a moment and actually begins to pray. As along with Akra, they take a brief time to send up their thanks to Bahamut for preserving them both through this long and arduous day, as well as a gratefulness for the meeting of Urki and the rescue of Calcrix. And as you guys are both kind of alternating between watch and prayer, Tados, his face hardens, and he looks over at you, Akra, and you can see a determination in his eyes as he rises and he says to you, I must go.
You have another duty at hand?
And he responds, yes, I was very happy for Urki to go, but just now in my prayers, Bahamut has guided me to know that I must follow after to protect them. They will not be fine by themselves.
I see. Well, I'll pray to Lord Bahamut that you will have safe travels, my friend.
And I will pray for your safety and look forward to the time where we may meet again to travel as Bahamut wills.
All right.
And with that, and just a brief exchange, Tados gets up, and you see as he begins to walk determinedly with a rather rapid pace out as he follows after Urki and Calcrix, knowing that he needs to make up about half a day's worth of travel in order to regain their presence. And,
all right.
With that,
so I guess it's just me at watch right now.
And
after he left,
and as Akra hears the footsteps gently fade as they grow increasingly distant, there's a sense of sadness that after such a brief reunion to be separated from her longtime companion, and at the same time she hears almost a whisper in the back of her mind from Bahamut that this is the way for now. And with that small bit of reassurance, she kind of settles herself back down, says a quick prayer, and then begins to just practice brief katas while keeping an eye on the door to help settle herself down, given the emotional nature of the departure. After her 2 hours have passed, there's a slightly better sense of peace about her as she goes off to wake Conry before settling down into her trance. Conry, go ahead and roll me a d20 if you would.
Sure. We can also use this. I think I've somewhat formulated a response.
Oh, go ahead, actually. Yeah, go ahead during that.
Yeah.
When she wakes Conry.
So, okay. Do I need to roll a perception here to realize that Tados has left the building?
No, it's quite obvious.
So
He's
I might
rather
ask.
large.
Yeah, he's.
yeah.
So I might ask or Akra. So have we lost our paladin friend?
Lord Bahamut called him elsewhere. he's going to follow Erky and Calcrix. By his will, they'll have safe travels.
Well,
I
just kind of
look forward to when I'll be able to see him again.
I'll just kind of nod and say, well, safe travels to him then. And he'll kind of see me sit there and think for a couple of minutes, then somewhat weighing your earlier question. And I might, I don't know, I'll kind of slowly start to smile a little wryly and say, well, regarding the cloak and the dark vision, I suppose it can't hurt to say that you could call them gifts from my patron. And unfortunately, this cloak, and you'll see me kind of lift it up and do a nothing up my sleeves kind of thing, is a little bit integral to the pact that I have made with him. So there might be unfortunate consequences if it were to be removed from me. So it's
I mean,
just
the
the
cloak
nature.
is not unusual to me. I will admit, I've seen other warlocks, but I noticed that even most warlocks don't hide their neck as much as you do. Are you hiding something about any features you have? Because I think one night I noticed some sort of, and the night we first met, you had some unusual marks on your neck. Hold on. No, Moku, come on. Let's not get there. Bad timing. Okay, she's just
Moku
curious.
is asleep.
It's not.
He
Moku's
says
Alright,
asleep.
Randy,
Wait,
come on.
Moku doesn't know.
Let it go.
he's
Seriously.
sleepwalking.
He sleep talked.
Bad timing. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I might kind of uncomfortably roll back my collar a little bit and it's like, yeah, there was an unfortunate incident earlier where I sustained this. There's nothing terribly. I don't know. Do you have any comments on this, Will? I was under the impression it was just some dark lines.
They're just dark lines. They're just dark lines on the side of your neck.
Nothing. Just some scarring.
And they're a result of the events that brought you to your pact and the results thereof, which happened almost immediately before you guys met up and began traveling together. So it's still somewhat new, even for Conry at this point. So
yeah,
I see.
Yeah, I think I might mention that. I think that I'm kind of new to this whole deal, so there are a number of changes that I'm not exactly accustomed to yet.
Yeah,
I see. I apologize if I came off as suspicious at all.
No. I mean, you've got a random dude walking around summoning giant tentacles out of the ground.
Yeah.
It's all a little strange.
And Conry, and as far, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but Conry is very much a seeker of knowledge, and so the seeking of knowledge by others is not something that he's uncomfortable with at all, even if he does choose to keep his secrets.
Yes, that is a very good point. So Conry just seems more bemused at this point than annoyed or anything. Maybe down the road, as we learn more,
all right,
we can figure this out.
Fair. I apologize. I didn't mean to pry into anything sensitive.
Peace.
All right. Yeah. You go on your watch. I'm gonna enter my trance.
All right.
Beautiful.
And I have to roll a d20.
And so as Thea and Conry's conversation comes to an end, he sees her assume a meditative posture and sink off. And go ahead and roll me a d20 if you would, Conry. 13. Okay. So as the watch passes, Conry continues. He actually pulls out his notes briefly as he keeps an eye on things, reviewing not only the maps that he's been making and kind of tracing what's important. He thinks back to on the prisoners that have been left up above and wishes that he had an opportunity to go to check on them. But given the hectic nature recent encounters, was unable to manage it. He also begins to just kind of dwell on the memories of the new magic that he's been performing, and just kind of goes over it again in his mind, trying to become more familiar with what it feels like to use the magic, with how it works, with what it might mean as he considers his future, and thinks on his companions and develops his own thoughts as to where he thinks that these relationships will go. After 2 hours, he moves over to wake Alton. And as Alton wakes up, is there anything that you want to say?
Thanks for saving our bacon earlier. Up those heels, we probably would have been some smears on the ground.
No worries, Connery. To be honest, I don't actually really know what came over me.
Well, the heat of combat, kind of get lost in it. But glad to have you around. Just kind of help pull them up and then meander back to my corner.
Very good. Yeah. I think there is a recording, JT, too, if you want to listen to the end of it. It should be posted whenever you have a chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multi-attacking fire serpents were really darn hard.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
You guys got it, though. You guys got it. Okay, so Connery goes off to a corner, and Alton takes up watch. Alton's watch passes by in peace and quiet. There's no untoward sounds. He continues to just think about the battle and how, even as it seems that he's not always out there laying down giant hammer blows or longsword strikes or flinging arrows forward, yet his contribution, keeping his allies both up and able to fight, and safe from the attacks of the enemy, are something that he begins to think of as a way that he can contribute, that doesn't need to be measured by the same rules as his allies. And as he kind of sits and makes some noises to himself unconsciously, just constantly in a state of just kind of harmony with his gift of noise, music, sound. He passes the time, and no discordant noises come in to cause him to have any fear. As he finishes, he goes over to Moku to wake him up. Uh-oh, Andy is muted.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to... you were chopping up a little bit, but I'm awake now.
I was having some issues with Discord last night, so let me know if there's any issues now.
It was just for me, though. Because Zach was hearing you fine, which is what I was mouthing. It might be because I'm downloading a bunch of stuff right now.
Okay. So anyway, as Alton wakes up Moku,
yeah, that would explain it.
Do you want to say anything, or just kind of, and then off to sleep?
It's your turn, Druid.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Not racist or anything.
I'm gonna station right next to the door. I'm just gonna chill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just stare straight in the eyes of the dragon.
Nice. And as the last, go ahead and roll me a D100, if you would.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
And as the night passes, Moku.
He be dead.
Man. And as the night passes, Moku, having finished his arcane preparations, begins to think about the spells that are fresh in his mind at this point. As he has studied his magic, there's an organization to it in a way in which things are brought forward and kind of set on shelves almost. to be brought back again at later dates. And as he focuses on his new spells, he thinks back to when he first had them be learned, and he thinks about the different ways in which he will be able to utilize his new spells given the encounters and adventures that he's run into so far down here in the Sunless Citadel. And after a couple of hours, he is ready to continue. Do you guys want to take a quick 5 minutes? Because it's 10:50. I have 10:56 right now. I want to go use the restroom real quick. And we'll be back 11 or so. Maybe grab a snack because I didn't eat anything yet this morning. And then we'll be good to go from there.
I've got goodies right here, so
You're
don't worry
good.
about me.
Okay, I'll be back in 5 minutes, and then we'll be back.
All right.
All right.
Yo, Zach H.
Yeah?
I think I will amend that when I say gifts from my patron, I say it in the most sarcastic way possible.
Right.
Okay, are we good?
I think
What were
so.
you saying sarcastically, Connery?
He
I
was
was
amending
amending
what he was telling me earlier about the guests from his patron.
Okay, I'll have to.
with gifts being a very sarcastic
Oh,
comment.
fair enough. Okay. So, you guys wake up after your rest, and what do you do?
What happened to the big man?
Oh,
Tados, Lord Bahamut had to guide him elsewhere.
Ah, wimp.
I just kind of lightly punch Bowmander in the arm. Please, respect what he has to do.
No, I understand.
He's scared because he's the only tank now.
Without fire resistance at that.
Ooh.
Yeah, Akra wakes up or comes out of her trance, still not quite fully settled from the emotions of having Tados go, even with the assurance of Bahamut, and is definitely not super excited to talk about his departure, but she'll definitely answer if anybody asks, kind of briefly, as she did.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what do you do?
Make a like a.
Oh, go ahead.
Just about to say, make a side comment saying that just like he was a good lad, but could be sometimes be overbearing along those lines.
Yeah. Okay. Jin, who hasn't spoken in almost 9 hours at this point,
He's a quiet and silent
wakes
type.
up, continues to keep his eyes open. Xander actually, as the discussion is happening, he doesn't really say anything. He just kind of walks out a little bit out front to kind of like take a quick peek as to kind of what's happening. See if there's anything outside that happened in the night, and so he stealthily investigates. Holy cow! Those are some good rolls.
Stealthy man.
Whoa.
He should not have been rolling guidance, but still, 24 and 25. Fucking rogues, man. And he doesn't see any signs as he expertly scouts back out to kind of the crevice. He doesn't see any signs of anything having passed by in the night, and he returns back and says, "It looks like we had a peaceful night."
I'll kind of unfurl some of my maps and say, all right, so if we want to keep clearing this floor and try to find the other adventurers, the only other exit I see is that door way back up here in the goblin camp that we chose not to go
This
down.
door, by the way, for everybody who didn't see him.
Oh.
Okay.
So, shall we make our way there?
Seems like a dead end otherwise, so.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. So
Yeah,
go ahead
let's do
and
it.
leave all your tokens. Let me just move you guys together.
Oh,
1, 2, 3,
hold on.
4, 5.
Wait.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Okay. So you all make your way. Small lag.
We're going to emphasize that we should stay vigilant since things may have changed in the last 8 hours since we've been asleep with the goblin.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. So as you guys come, let's say right here. There we go. So you guys should be right here. Oh, somebody just moved away.
Wait, I didn't.
Sorry, that's me.
Oh, that's okay.
Wait, I can't even.
Do you see your
Hold
token?
Oh, no, that's not it. That's not where it was. I saw it for a
Zoom
second,
out
but
and
then
go to the main room.
hold on. Let me get back to. Yeah, I see it now.
So as you guys come back over to the door where you had interacted with the labs and the goblins before, Gian mentioned. Who was mentioning caution just now? Was that Gian or Moku? Somebody mentioning. Oh yeah, Moku.
That was Moku.
Okay, so what?
Moku said, "Remain vigilant."
So how do you approach? As you approach the door, what do you do?
I speak and say, "Your savior returns."
Okay.
Oh boy.
So as you go, kind of say that somewhat loudly through the door, you hear kind of excited noises from the other side, and as Moku steps through, you actually see a goblin sticking his head out, saying, "Oh, thank you. Thank you. And he just doesn't even like have a really clear speaking as he just kind of sees Moku again for the first time before kind of rushing back into the room, almost hiding away in an embarrassment. Nice. Yeah, that actually is what causes him to kind of retreat back into the room. And you just hear excitement from this room up at the northeast part, while the rest of the goblins are still pretty calm about everything else that's going on. Okay, so you guys make your way. You can make your way into the pillar room again, and I guess probably head up towards the door, the northwest part, leading out of the northwest room. And then what do you do?
We meant this door up here, right? Soon I can. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, yeah, around that area.
Okay.
I don't know why all of a sudden Roll20 is acting a little slow on me.
It's been happening.
Like the cameras are fine. It's just the
map.
moving the tokens and such.
Most Saturdays it seems like Roll20 has been slowing down just because so many people are using it still. Okay, so I think Xander is going to try and go through the door first, sneakily as he can. Give me one moment, please. I gotta double check something. Okay, so okay, so Xander, the doors are closed, but as he examines them, he finds that they are not locked, and he's gonna kind of move through just a little bit to try and take a quick peek. Outside. Oh, nat 20. So he almost completely fades into the shadows. And as he sticks his head out, he hears some noises of movement from the north and the south. And then he quickly ducks back in to let you guys know. On the other side of the small connecting room here, there's what seems to be somewhat a vertical or a north-south hallway, about 20 feet wide, up and down, but it's not, or a room, I should say, 20 feet wide, but quite going quite far north and south both. It's not actually a hallway, but you actually can see, or what he saw were nodules of luminescent fungus hanging from the ceiling and walls, growing in clumps on the floors, and the lights showed some carvings alongside the walls of dragons, and he also saw there was a bunch of like soil and compost scattered around, with some small plants coming out of them, and that was kind of the most that he could see with the brief glance. But he also saw a couple of bugbears, actually, one to the north and one to the south, kind of going about tending to the plants and the fungus in the next room. And he reports all of that to you guys.
Shall we go in?
Tank first.
Moku just walks straight in.
Moku just walks straight in.
Okay, I guess not. Moku first.
Like a boss.
Okay. So, in that case, go ahead and walk through. Mr. Moku, is the door open or is it closed?
I can't see anything through the door.
Sorry.
Yeah, it should be open.
Moku just walk through it.
Oh, can we just move our token? Oh yeah, we can just move our token in, but we just can't see
You're not
past.
supposed to be able to move your tokens like that. I'm sorry, guys. Something's not right.
Yeah. That's why we're confused.
Okay.
Move through or
You guys are moving through thing, so normally you shouldn't be able to move where you can't see. That's how I had it set up before. That way you guys didn't accidentally move somewhere. One sec.
Huh. There you go.
Can't just teleport around the map.
Yeah, that was the idea. Okay, I have to. Okay, one sec. Let me see. So, can you, in the room, Jian, can you grab your token and see if you can move it to the left, pass through the wall still, or does the token stop? Or anybody, but just.
It stops.
Now it stops. Okay, it should be updated.
Hold on, I need to refresh my page.
Okay.
We're good.
Oh,
that's good.
That was my bad, guys. It was a setting issue. Okay, so Moku moves in, and as soon as he does, he sees down below him, to the south, a large bugbear. Can you actually see it, Mr. Moku? I don't know. I don't remember what your lighting looks like right now.
Straight up lantern.
That's right.
So he's definitely aware that I am.
Right, and so as soon as you come through, everybody else is kind of in a little bit as well. I would say that Moku, Jian is probably out. Alton, yeah, okay, that looks fine. Go ahead and let me pull it up so we can roll initiative.
Wait, can I reposition?
No, as soon as you guys come through and he shines the lantern down, that's when the initiative happens.
That's a bugbear down there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just one of them?
There is actually another one. One sec. This shouldn't be blocked off. It should be open. Well, actually, no, it would be closed. You can't see that one. We'll just keep it in the initiative order for now. And as soon as any noise happens, which should be on the first turn, it will adjust. Okay, Xander also needs to roll initiative. Okay. Jian, Xander, Connery, Moku, Thea, Alton. Beautiful.
I don't think my roll went to the.
You're right. Bowmander's did not. So you need to click on your token, and then click initiative roll on the sheet.
Okay.
All right.
And then I'll just.
Sorry, I keep forgetting when I'm muted sometimes, guys.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so Bowmander should have a 6. Okay, and let's go.
Yeah.
Also, Xander is still in the other room. Is he meant to be out there right now?
So yeah, he's actually right here. Okay, so first up, after seeing the bugbears, so as Moku just almost nonchalantly walks through after hearing the desire for care, it just starts shining his lantern around. He sees a bugbear large, similar to the one that hit from and fought previously. Just kind of with a tool in its hand, working, and as the light shines, you see them turn, and the eyes widen, and you're not quite sure what emotion is being there, not knowing bugbears very much. What do you do, Jian?
Trying to remember how to put on Hunter's Mark, but whatever. I'm gonna put Hunter's Mark and shoot the dude.
Okay. So you're gonna put Hunter's Mark. So that's one of your uses. I've been using the leaf, I believe, for Hunter's Mark. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
What? I see. Actually, swapped out
So,
for a cold damage weapon.
As you pull out one hand waves forward and an arcane energy kind of settles on the bugbear, before then reaching down and pulling out an arrow and flying forward. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me for the Hunter's Mark damage. Your arrow strikes true, landing right in the upper arm of the bugbear gardener, and you hear a cry out from them. Oh wow, really good job. So that's 9 damage. for damage.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're just getting good rolls.
That's gonna bite us in the butt later, I bet.
Okay.
After last game where we rolled like trash.
Rolls are what make things fun. Xander is.
It's that curve that John kept bringing up before.
Is going to move forward as well, and he's going to pull out his longbow and take another shot. And he will miss, actually, I think. The bugbear has more than 11 AC.
I could just see the bugbear having gotten hit in the shoulders, like, ah! And ducks down, so the arrow just zips over his head.
So as the bugbears wields his sickle up and moves back from the pain and the shock of being ambushed during their work, the sickle's movement actually deflects the arrow that Xander strikes before he moves off to the side. And next up is Conry.
Right. 1 sec. How far is each block in this game?
5.
5.
So then, I should. Oh yeah, I have measuring. Oh, that is just barely within range. Fantastic.
Let me guess. Eldritch Blast.
Yep, Eldritch Blast plus tentacle.
How many tentacles do you get? Do you get 4 per day?
I have 4 per day right now. Yeah. Hopefully, I won't be needing
more than that.
Multiple
That's fair.
Round of combat. Okay, I am having issues dragging the token onto the game board for some reason.
There's been some weird things. There it goes. You have control of that token?
Yep. Thank you.
No worries.
Let's see. Yoink and yoink.
Oh! Crit. Oh, wow. And so, as one hand with arcane magic faintly around it rises up with a tentacle, and the other with a dark, inky, watery magic forms in the other, rising up and striking forth at the same time. The tentacle from one side and the magic from the other strike into the bugbear, and they cry out as they fall down to the ground, dead from the magical onslaught of Conry.
That was a quick round of
as
combat.
They cry out, you hear from the side. I need to go to different layers. You hear the noise, a noise that sounds very, very similar to something from last night, as bursting out of the wall.
Oh no.
No.
Right at Xander is a fire snake. And he's going to.
You gotta be kidding me!
The cry of the bugbear has triggered the attack of this fire snake, who is going to roll again. Oh wow, that I think those both hit. Xander has 16 armor class. They both hit. Holy cow! And Xander goes down. That's 15 damage exactly. And Xander falls down under the onslaught of tooth and tail fire singeing up from his armor as he unexpectedly is overwhelmed by this ambush. Holy cow, I did not expect that.
Oh boy.
Okay, and it is now right there. Okay, and then next up, you hear... how much speed does it have? .30 speed. So you hear from the other side of the doorway right above you, thundering footsteps and a roar as something approaches that you still hidden behind the door. Next up is Moku.
Moku, do something useful. Oh, Andy, we
There
can't
is
hear
running
you.
These fire snakes again.
Oh, I couldn't hear you for a second, Andy. It's like weird.
Am I cutting out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were
you
cutting
were
out on
cutting.
my end. I don't know what it was.
You're good now.
Okay. Let me know if anything's weird, and then I can stop some things or whatever. But yeah, Moku's gonna curse under his breath at seeing these, fire lizards and worm or whatever things. You can just go, oh, freaking fireworms, and then he's gonna shoot an ice knife at this dude because now I can do that.
Super effective.
Also, randomly, your token is now upside down, Andy.
Well, his token.
It's because you have to.
It's because of his lantern.
Oh.
I'm facing my lantern.
Okay, so as you feel your new arcane energies coming to your mind, and you think about the weaknesses and strengths of different elements against each other, an ice knife forms in your hand and flies forward out of it. But given your unfamiliarity with the magic and the fire snakes, the impact of seeing one of your companions fall over from just a flurry of blows at the beginning of an ambush, you are unable to land a solid blow as the ice knife actually glances off of it without landing a solid strike. That's your action. Do you have a bonus action?
No, but there's a secondary effect. You have to DC save for Dex, even if it misses.
Let me.
Wait, did it even hit? Did it even hit?
Even if it misses, it goes through. You have to do the DC save. That creature and anything within 5 feet, and then it's 2d6 cold damage on a fail.
Where was this last fight?
It wasn't prepared.
It's a Dex saving throw.
Well, we didn't know there
on
would be
the cold
fire
damage.
snakes.
Okay, so the knife itself misses, but as it lands, it shatters out, and let's see if it makes the save. What's the DC 14? Oh, it does save. And as the ice shatters out from the crystal that has been thrown forward, it glances harmlessly, almost melted away in the heat coming off of the fire snake as it looks towards you menacingly.
Yeah, I might have made a mistake in the sense that I think Xander has to make a death save.
He actually automatically fails a death save for taking damage. So he has one failed save.
Does he have the chance to roll a dex save?
Well, it doesn't. No,
Like
you automatically fail dex saves while you're unconscious. You're essentially restrained as well.
Yikes.
Okay. Next up is Akra.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's a new spell. You're getting used to it.
All right, this is gonna be a little tricky. I'm not trusting myself with any of the close range stuff with these things, so I'm going to try my best with another dart.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
I'm technically within range, so let me see.
Yep.
Where did I put that thing? All right, so here goes.
Not his throat. Okay, and with an 11, you got a good roll on the damage. However, the ice melting away, the fire snake reeling back with its head, and the close proximity of Moku's reaction to the damage that he's caused to his fallen comrade, all combine to cause the throw to be less than perfect. And as the snake begins to move forward, as its head ducks down, the dart actually flies past where its head was, and it does not hit. Do you want to move or use your bonus action?
I'm not going to trust myself with physical contact on this thing. I am going to get out of there. I'm not going to use Step of the Wind. I want to save my key points, but I'm going to get out of dodge.
Okay. So You can. Any of you can open the door above you at any time. By the way, it's not locked, but you need to tell me that you're going to open it if you want to, so I can open it. Just so you know.
Well, it should be a room full of snakes.
I'm not gonna duck into that room just yet. So let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Oh. I should start doing that. Okay, that was...
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna duck down over here.
Will,
Yes.
we heard there's scuffling in the door north of us.
You
right?
heard a roar
So we know there's
and footsteps charging towards the door.
roar. God.
Oh.
Oh.
It's a good thing I moved out of the way.
Wait, the frontliner just leave all of us behind?
No, he is not super frontliney.
He's a midliner. We're all backliners.
Okay. So as soon as Akra finishes her attack and retreats to strategically reposition, you also hear other noises from the other side of the wall, as there are creaking sounds. They don't sound much lighter footsteps, not sounding like booted feet, as they move forward towards you guys from the north. Next up is Bomander.
All right. Gonna move. Gonna move here. Did you say the? Just wanted to make sure. Is the fire damage, or rather, like, is the snake still on fire, or is it?
The snake itself radiates fire constantly. It's a fire
Right.
elemental creature.
Oh, okay.
Whoops.
Trying to figure it out. I think one of the items I still have whatchamacallit, water skin, and then like could I use that to use water skin like to add to my 200 longsword?
So you just want to pour water over the longsword before striking with it?
Yeah. Would that make a difference?
You can certainly try.
Or great
Wait,
sword.
didn't we try this before and it didn't do much or anything?
Yeah. We tried this last session with little effect.
Yeah.
I thought Tados like made a damage alpha.
No, Tados did some divine glory, smitey smite stuff.
Divine Smite. Yeah.
Divine. Oh, okay. I was like thinking of what Tados like did. In that case, screw it. I'm just gonna be just going with like hack and slash of a great sword.
Okay. Oh wow. So you're not raging currently?
No, not
Okay.
raging.
So 14. It's a big hit. So as you roar, Bomander, stepping up next to his fallen comrade, wielding his relatively new greatsword, heavier than he's used to, and yet feeling almost more comfortable with the additional weight as he swings forward and it gouges into the side of this fire snake. As it hits, he feels once again a lack of solid impact, as if there's some way in which the damage he's dealing is not as much as he would hope for, but he still feels as if a solid blow has been landed. Go ahead and roll 1d6, or I'll roll. Oh, sorry, I rolled it. You take 4 fire damage, Bomander. as a result of the blade lands in the side of the fire snake, and from the wound outbursts heat that sears your arms as you then pull back. Okay, next up is Alton.
I guess I should get Xander out of there. I'll walk up to him and cast what is it, Cure Wounds?
Cure Wounds. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So as you move forward and the arcane energy surrounds your hands, you make peaceful sounds as you lay them down upon Xander, and he his eyes snap open, almost with a bit of fear in them as he looks around, briefly disoriented. Okay.
And then can I move back like here?
Absolutely.
All right.
Jin, it is your turn.
Does dropping Caldrops, does that take
An action?
an action?
Yeah, I think so.
Balls. Okay. Okay. Should I open the door? Okay. Well, no. I'm just gonna move slightly because I guess I'm the front liner for when the door opens. But I'm gonna throw Caldrops right at the door.
So you're going to put Caltrops in both of these kind of squares in front of the door?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I can do it.
Okay. So you'll do that. And that is your action. Next up is Conry.
All right. I'm going to move my tentacle.
Okay.
It's literally at the max range of its movement. I'm going to move my tentacle to him and do the double slap combo.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Character sheet to open here. Boop. Boop.
Okay.
Oh,
And
that
are you
one.
doing cold or lightning damage?
I'm going to be doing cold damage based on what we saw last time.
Beautiful. Just wanted to confirm. So as you're focusing on bringing the tentacle and commanding it over to strike, and at the same time preparing the arcane magics in your other hand, you strike out with both of them. As the snake is reeling back from the blow that Bomander landed against it, it actually moves out of the way of your Eldritch Blast, but at the same time right into the tentacle that comes sweeping down and strikes it on the side. And it seems to flinch back and cry out as the blow lands with more force than you would have expected, landing a very solid strike against the snake. Xander is going to take half of his movement to stand up. Having his bow being held in one hand, he will, with his other, draw out his rapier. He will then use Booming Blade, which is just a regular rapier strike. And he gets sneak attack because of the proximity of Bomander. As he strikes out, his itty bitty rapier strikes true, and as it cleaves into the fire snake, the side of its head, the fire snake's eyes seem to dull as the life leaves them, and it falls down to the ground dead. At the same time, as it is dying, a burst of flames come out and just gently scour a line across the forearm of Xander, and he takes a small amount of damage. That's going to be his turn. Next up is you hear from the other side of the door continued footsteps and roaring, and as they approach the door, you see the door itself be ripped almost off of its hinges in fury, as on the other side is revealed to you another bugbear with another sickle in its hands. As soon as its eyes clear the doorway, it sees Jian standing in front of it and strikes out with its sickle-bladed glaive. Does a 14 hit your? I don't think a 14 hits you.
Yeah, I'm a 15.
Okay. And as it swings forward with its rage, the door barely moving, without taking the proper time to strike, Jian gently steps to the side and is able to avoid the damage. Next up is Moku.
Oh, wait. He does that at range?
Yeah, so he has a glaive. It's a sickle-bladed glaive, which is a reach weapon. So he can attack from 10 feet away.
Oh, man.
Moku's gonna take a step back.
Okay.
Away from that 10-foot radius. And then he's reinvigorate his pyro side, because he's like, I'm done with the ice. The ice mist. It's useless. It's like, just set him on fire.
Okay. I believe that's a dex save. Oh, I think he saves with a 19.
Pretty sure he does too.
Okay, but as the flames whip up around, you can see a glint as they reflect off of the eyes of the bugbear, as his attention is now focused upon the druid who just brought up flames around him. Next up are skeletons. The skeletons, you can see they look very much like the ones that you encountered in the first room, wielding shovels as they kind of lumber along towards you. As this one approaches here without any issues, and this one comes here, they're both able to step onto the caltrops without while taking care, having the required 10 feet of movement to move on to them safely. The one to the left will strike out towards Alton with his shovel. It's rolling slowly, dealing 2 damage to Alton, and the other one is going to strike out with his shovel at Jian and will miss. While it's taken time for it to place its feet accurately in the caltrops, the lack of initiative in its strike has caused it to swing forward, unable to land a solid blow. You also see another skeleton, those who are looking through the door, moving up through it as well. Next up is Akra.
Alright, let's see here.
Save me.
Alright, hang on.
Oh.
I'm gonna head on in, and this time I'm gonna not waste any time, since I'm not gonna worry about, and since I know skeletons enough that they don't cause serious fire damage. I'm gonna start with a short sword strike right to this guy, and well, I'm also gonna follow that up with an unarmed strike, but we'll see how the first one lands
So
first.
as you pull out your short sword moving in, having seen a friend of yours be attacked by the skeleton, gives you a firm determination to strike back against the undead before you. Your short sword strikes true and lands a blow that seems to deal a good solid hit against the skeleton right in front of you. But it is still standing.
Well, I'm going to follow that up with an unarmed strike. And after that, and swing with the sword, I follow it up with a swift roundhouse kick right into the head.
And as your foot collides with the skull of the skeleton, the magic that has reanimated the skeleton stretches and tries to hold, and yet the strength of your strike is too much. And as your foot collides, the skull is taken clean off of the rest of the skeleton as it crumples to the ground, dead again. Next up is... Good job, Akra. Next up is Bowmander.
Alright.
Wait,
Well,
sorry, hold on. Did the things take damage from the caltrops?
No, so they were able to take the 10 feet of movement to move on to them that is required to avoid the damage and the incapacitation. So if you remember caltrops, they make it so that if you move at regular speed, you have to roll a save, and then you can become unable to move further if you fail the save. And I think you take like 1 damage or something.
Yeah, 1
Yeah.
damage.
But if you move at half speed, you're able to move over them carefully. So they reached this point with 10 speed left, so they were able to carefully move on to the squares where the caltrops are. But I did
Cool.
pay attention
Thanks.
to that one.
Thank you.
Okay. Bowmander.
Bowmander gotta move on top of the corpse.
Okay.
To assert dominance. And then just like continue to use the great sword.
Mhm.
To make damage. This one.
You're going to attack the skeleton?
Yeah.
Okay. As you step into the square that has a collapsed skeleton as well as caltrops all around it, trying to shoulder your way through multiple allies, you then seek to strike out with your greatsword, but the extra weight and reach or length of the blade, given the close quarters and the uneven footing, cause you to overreach, and as you swing forward to strike, instead of striking solidly towards the end of the blade, it's actually almost the base that comes up right against the shield of the skeleton, and it seems to land without leaving any damage. You do still have your bonus action if you want to do anything with it. Otherwise, we'll move to Alton.
No. I'll end my turn.
Okay, Alton.
Okay. I cast a vicious mockery against actually the bugbear.
The bugbear. Okay, go ahead and remind me of your save DC.
14, it is 14. 14.
And he does save.
Dang.
Did he stand in the fire last time, guys? No, Moku went after him. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's your action. You have your bonus action as well.
I think I'll just stay there.
Next up is Jin.
Okay, I'll just smack him with my short sword.
Okay, are you going to move the hunter's mark onto the skeleton? It requires a bonus action to do, so that's it.
Yeah, it's not like I have any other use of the bonus action.
Okay. So you're going to move the hunter's mark over and then roll a short sword attack. So go ahead and roll the d6 for hunter's mark. Oh, wow. Nice roll. And as you bring the arcane energy over and settle it upon the foe in front of you with a free hand, you then use the same hand while your other still holds the bow and draw a sword, striking out and landing a blow that seems to leave the skeleton on the brink of his second death, as it holds on by a thread, the magic that keeps it animated, flickering before reestablishing itself. Next up is Connery.
All right, going after that bugbear.
Okay.
Third verse, same as the first.
Okay.
Oh, that's wrong. I didn't mean to click that. Ignore that. Boop boop.
Okay. And with your two strikes coming simultaneously, the tentacle moving behind the bugbear, causing a slight distraction as it swings forward. At the same time, your Eldritch Blast hitting it moments before, causing it to be unable to avoid the strike from the tentacle, landing solid blows from both sides, taking a good chunk out of its health, but still standing, ready to strike. Next up, Xander will pull. Well, actually, he was holding his bow in one hand and his rapier he drew. He will sheath his rapier, draw an arrow, and strike at the skeleton, or actually at the bugbear behind the skeleton, seeing the sorry state that the skeleton is in. Let me make sure I have sneak attack enabled, and he will strike out. Oh wow, landing another solid blow. That's literally max damage against the bugbear as the roars continue, and it seems as if it will hold on before collapsing down to the ground with an arrow sticking out of its neck, dead. That means that next up is Moku.
Moku Moku.
All right. Well, let's warm things up a little bit. Let's move the bonfire.
Okay.
And just on that, Skelly. Bake up the Skelly.
Okay, that's going to be a dexterity save by the skeleton.
Big damage.
And as the magic that holds the skeleton together flares up, that flare of magic interferes with the bonfire as it's being created, and it seems to almost sputter on the spot instead of forming in a giant roar, as you have all come to expect from Moku. Not being able to land any damage against the skeleton. As that happens, it roars it cries out with an ethereal sounding cry, and mindlessly begins to just swing out wildly with its shovel towards GN. It's going to roll an attack and deal 1 damage. Nice.
Wow.
Big damage. Go. No whammies. The other one will move up and strike at Bowmander, dealing probably 0 damage. Oh, 2 damage. 2 damage against Bowmander. So Jin took 1 damage, and Bowmander took 2.
What do you mean? What do you mean 2 damage?
Okay. Next up is Akra.
All right, so I'm gonna strike at this guy right over here.
Beautiful.
Again with my short sword. All right, blade, don't fail me now. See if I, come on.
And as you swing forward, the magic that had just flared begins to diminish, and the magic itself seems to be cut as your blade strikes through, as the skeleton falls to the ground in pieces, dead again. You have another attack if you want from your bonus action.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to make a maneuver in order to make the attack, though.
Yes.
So I can get in range. So I'm gonna, pardon me, Bowmander, but I'm gonna have to hop off your shoulder again through the door. So I warn you ahead of time this time. Then I hop over the skeleton, and then I try and aim a. I'll admit this maneuver may not be the most well thought out, but I'm aiming to try and unarmed strike right at the skeleton's head as I'm flipping over.
Beautiful. Go ahead and roll your attack. And as Bowmander turns to look back at you at the same moment as you rise up, he shifts a little bit, and so your leap does not find solid footing, and as a result, your kick strikes against the skeleton without being able to land and deal any damage. However, you do make it to the other side of the skeleton in a ready stance, prepared to continue the fight. Next up is Bowmander.
Bowmander is kind of confused.
Appropriate.
Bowmander's confused. That just didn't work. But just take it off.
I tried to warn you that time.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that. I think I was just too disoriented from receiving damage from a skeleton. I just want to. I just want to continue on to just use my great sword and just like attack the skeleton boy.
Go for it.
So I attack back.
Okay.
What?
And in the midst of your conversation with Thea through the skeleton, it looks at you with a skull for its face, and yet you feel some contempt, as if it knows that you're not taking it seriously, and it raises up its shovel and bats away your sword as it strikes forward. Next up is Alton.
Oh no, Shovel Knight was returned!
Next up is Alton.
I mean, it's right in front of me. Oh wait, no.
Yes.
I can't actually see
No.
him.
So I'm treating the doorway as if it's 10 feet wide, so you would be able to strike at him from there if you wanted with a melee attack.
Oh, okay. I actually couldn't see.
Yeah. No, I understand. It's the way that the lines are set up. But if you want to stay there and attack, you can.
I'll just stay here. It's fine.
If you
see anything
if you
else,
move out of his range like that, he gets an attack of opportunity.
Oh, okay. Then I'll stay there and just mock him.
Okay. So it's a wisdom save.
Yeah.
Which skeletons are not very good at. Okay, so he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay. Disadvantage was what I was going for.
And takes 1 damage. Nice. Okay, very good. And as the magic comes against the skeleton, you can see it interferes slightly with the magic around its skull, causing it to almost flinch back. Next up is Jin.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, Hunter's Mark.
Beautiful.
And move the Hunter's Mark and shoot him.
Okay. Go ahead and make sure that your Hunter's Mark damage is ticked, or just roll another d6. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I haven't figured out the tick yet.
Okay, no worries. And as your arrow flies through your allies seeking the skeleton, it actually takes a clear opening that is given as it's flinching back, and takes off the arm holding the shield of the skeleton, as it seems to be barely holding on, but still is standing. Next up is Connery.
All right. Can I? Oh yeah, I can just barely see him. Okay. I'm going to first smack that skeleton with a
Go
tentacle.
for it. And as you do, the skeleton, with an arm flying off, being taken away by an arrow, and in that moment, this tentacle strikes forward and crushes it, and it falls down in pieces to the ground. Okay, very good.
Otherwise, are we out of combat? I don't know
Yes.
that we're out of combat, so I think I'm just going to move towards the door and see what's on the other side.
Yeah, that's fine. But you guys
Yeah.
are.
Okay.
Turn off your fire. I need to pick up my
Off
drops.
Turn down.
Yeah,
the
we're
heat.
out of the.
I am mildly curious at this point. While people are looting and checking bodies, I want to try and take some of that fungus off the wall and maybe ask Moku over and see if between the two of us we can figure out why the bleep they're so dead set on mass cultivation of fungus down here.
Okay.
The gardener.
I agree.
Okay. Go ahead and we'll count this as Connery helping Moku. Moku, go ahead and roll a nature check with advantage. Okay, 16.
16.
So you guys can tell that that the fungus is not like the most important plant that's being grown here, but instead, well, not in and of itself. But the main reason why the fungus is so important is because it gives off light. That is the key factor, and that it's being used in that way in order to provide vision as well as to help or create possibility of growing anything else as well.
Huh. When you do you mean that in the sense that it provides light for other things to grow, or something else?
Well, it's also somewhat magical, but not anything obviously beyond that. You can't tell
Okay,
anything more
interesting.
detailed from the quick examination and going back through the information and experiences that you already have.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So what do you do?
I'm gonna check the bugbear at the south end.
Okay. What are you going to check for?
I'll just loot his body.
So all that you find is the sickle-bladed glaive, but it's not in very clear shape. It looks almost more like a gardening tool that was being repurposed to be used as a weapon, not as something that you would necessarily easily utilize as a weapon yourself. There's nothing else of value found at the corpse.
Sounds good.
Is this door to the south, like, is it locked or unlocked?
The door is closed but not locked.
So I see a couple doors up north over here, up to the very north and a little northeast. I'm kind of curious to where those go at this point. Just because now that I've managed to jump over that skeleton and the battle's over, I took where I'm at.
Moku search party again?
Spider time?
Wait, are you talking?
Spider-Man.
There are a lot of doors actually here.
Yeah. Kind of threw me for a bit of a loop.
Yeah, if you want to open any of the doors, just let me know, and I'll open them up for you.
Do we need to spider it, or do we want to just face check?
Check.
Not sure.
How many transformations do you have?
More than enough. You want me to just spider check?
I guess so.
You can just do a real quick one.
Yeah.
All right.
Assume the rest of you guys are okay.
Okay. So as the magic comes around Moku, and he transforms, and he finds a small crevice in the door, he crawls into the other side, where he sees.
Wait, which door are you going in first, Moku?
He's going into the one up next to Alton. This one.
Okay. All right, I see.
Okay.
I'm supposed to see that.
What? Oh, once again, I have made a mistake with that one.
It's okay.
There you go. That's what you're supposed to see.
Just a greenhouse-looking thing.
You see, mist once again around the octagonal room. The fungus seeming to be kind of strategically placed around the walls and ceiling, and you also see toadstools and mushrooms, polyps, puffballs, and lichen, with humid air that seems to reek with rot, but nothing else stands out to you.
Sweet. Also, can you change my light source since I have night vision now to be more broad so I don't have to spin my character? Or is that really hard?
What do you have? Night vision?
As a spider?
That is true. You do have night vision. As a spider, I can just make you emit light. It'll just take me 1 moment.
Okay, cool. I was like, I can keep spinning around, but if it's easy, it's helpful. Also, I might be able to see too far with my lantern.
Can you see now?
Nope, can't see anything.
1 sec. Oh, I did the opposite of what I was trying to do.
Removed all light.
Dark.
Whoops. Okay. So that's what you see. The spider has.
All right.
How much vision does the spider have? 30 feet dark vision?
Good question.
I think I have a spider. Just give me a second to look. Yes, I do. Spider has 30 feet dark vision. Okay. Okay, so you ready to go back through the door?
Yep, and then northward.
Oh, you want to go north? Okay, I do need to make sure.
Now that north door.
Okay. So as you get up to the north, you go through, and you see a room that looks almost identical to the one that you were just in. The only difference is that in this room, as you scour around it, on the south west part of the octagon, you find another door.
Wait, there's another door in here? Oh, may I poke my head in there?
Absolutely. As you go through, you find yourself in a narrow 10-foot wide hallway leading to the south.
Ooh.
Good.
I'm guessing that's a dragon statue?
Yes. So as you come into this room, you see dragon-carved granite blocks lining the walls and ceiling. Though many are crumbled and broken, leaving stony debris across the floor, a huge marble statue of a rearing red dragon stands in the curve of the western wall. The eye sockets of the dragon are empty, but a red glow lingers there, providing reddish light throughout the chamber. The radiance casts an inky shadow behind the statue's wide wings, and a 5-foot diameter circular tile of dark stone is set in the floor in front of the dragon statue, with runes carved around the circular tile's inner edge.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna go through the door right here.
As you go through, you see leaning and fallen stone bookshelves filling the chamber, though a clear path connects wooden doors on opposite walls, with torn and burned pages, bindings, and scrolls forming disordered piles in the corners. You're gonna keep going? I cannot hear you.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
sorry. Pushed it hard.
As you come through, you see a deep, crumbled steps that descend sharply.
All right, not going down those. I'm gonna start pulling back and go back to the party.
Okay.
I think.
Is there anything table or stuff over here worth noting, or is it just
Go
empty?
ahead and roll me an investigation check.
All right, let me see here. Pull that thing up again. You said investigation? Ooh, my intelligence ain't so good, so here goes.
Oh.
And you crit.
Nat 20 on that? Oh, come on.
So as you look at the sorry. As you look at the bench sitting in the corner, and you look closely and you take your time, all that you see are simple gardening implements resting on it. That seem, you see shovels, you see actually a shorter handled sickle, as well as what looks like some tools to break up mulch, and kind of handle the piles around the area.
That Nat 20 was for nothing, apparently. It's like, nothing to see here.
Okay. Gian, down by the bugbear, what did you roll investigation, by the way? Did I have you roll investigation for the body?
Not
Okay,
yet.
go ahead and roll.
I was going to
Go
check.
ahead and roll investigation. I apologize. I told you about the weapon, but as you have taken some time actually looking through the bugbear's person, the corpse, you actually do find a potion of healing. So you can go ahead and mark that down on your character sheet. Okay. Xander is actually going to wander over towards Moku, being like, and he'll just say one word, berries, and then stand there with his hand out.
Moku will hand him how many berries does he need?
6, not 16.
It
It was 6 and 15 merged in my brain. Sorry. So 6.
Yeah, I'll hand him 6 berries.
Very good. And then as he takes them, he just steps away, slowly chomping them down, as he feels the magic revitalize him. Go ahead, Jin.
I'm also gonna do get my good berries ready.
So
I need to use a spell.
Okay, you want to use a spell for that, even though you know that Moku still has like 20.
I think I used them all up.
Well, so the good berries only last 24 hours. So if you hadn't used them yesterday, they don't stick around past that. But I just mean you know that Moku has a good amount of berries on him already.
Okay, and I have a potion of healing. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just asking. Okay.
To be honest, I was pretty scared going into the fight without good berries when I realized. But we were fine, so whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any other investigation that you guys want to do in this room?
Not that I can think of. I think I'd be ready to move on wherever.
Should go to wherever Moku investigated.
So Moku's going to give the brief summary of what's going on, where the troubles are. He'll be like gathered round. I'm only going to say this once.
Okay.
I yelled to Connery and
move on up.
All right.
I finished scribbling notes.
Cool. So there's a couple octagon rooms. The door to our north and the door to our east both look kind of the same. Both are pretty empty, just have a lot of moss in them. The one to the north has another door, though. It leads to some dragon statue with a lot of really cool paintings. Connery, you might be interested in what's on the walls, and you look like there's pressure plates or I don't know what over in that room. And then there's a stairway after you keep going down through that pathway up north. That's everything.
All right.
So, which way are we gonna take?
So there's.
Connery, did you want to study more plants on the east side?
I will study whatever we run into.
As far as Moku could see, there was no distinguishing marks that set the plants in the room apart from the ones where you are currently at. Just a slightly more concentrated amount of fungus instead of other types of plants.
Right. The dragon statue is interesting. We also have 2 corridors to the south, and we're looking for the people. So if we think they're further down, we can keep on trailblazing ahead. Otherwise, we can. I don't know. I'm okay with exploring all the loose ends.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just clearing the
So do you
floor.
want to go down and open the doors? Moku, the door that you snuck through here is not like any of you could open it at any time. It's not locked. It's just closed.
I can also spider form and do these 2 bottom doors.
Well, let's just open the doors.
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah,
go
let's
to the
conserve
have
on
some
those.
vision.
We don't know when you may need to use those forms again.
Okay.
We can just clear what you've already poked through, and then we can always backtrack.
Okay.
The north leads to a downward staircase, though, so I don't know if we want to go there and then turn back.
Well, for now, let's just open the doors.
Okay. So
Side
the
door.
'Cause it's
door,
empty, right?
Hudson
It looks
and
safe.
Bowmander, you open.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I gotta fix your lighting, don't I, Mr. Moku?
It's an octagon.
Mm-hmm.
UFC.
Is this moss flammable?
God.
Yes.
Why
Probably.
bring that up now?
I'm very curious what happens if I set a bonfire in the middle of the room.
You're gonna blow
What-
us all
what-
the
once
kingdom
we leave.
come if you do that, Moku.
I'm just gonna walk in and do a quick investigation check to see if there's anything of interest in the
Go
room.
for it.
Yoink.
Okay. As you look around, you notice that there are more fungus, that there's a little bit less of the light-producing moss. You see what looks like a small shrub in the middle of the room, though, which stands out to you amidst the rest of the plants. But upon closer examination, you cannot find anything unique about it.
I'm gonna
Operate.
open the north door.
North door? Okay. Okay. Another octagon.
Anything stand out about this octagon?
It's very similar to the one that you were just in. Like, the only thing that
Dang.
stands out is that there's a door on the southwest section of the octagon.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should burn the moss.
Yeah, burn the
Did
shrub.
everybody leave the eastern room?
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna set it on fire?
Yeah, as soon as people step out of the eastern room, I'm gonna set a bonfire in the corner of the room by the door.
I gotta watch.
Yeah.
As you
I'm gonna
as
watch.
you set a bonfire, the stench and smoke become almost overwhelming. The smoke starts to billow out way more than you would expect.
I shut the door.
Okay, the door shuts, and you can still see smoke coming out from the cracks around the door. However,
Dude, waterbed, man, put that out.
Yeah, that won't be
the
suspicious
door is
at all.
closed.
Dude, we're choking the fire. It's okay. It'll come out
The
by
smoke
itself.
continues to
I didn't know
billow
there's no
out
crack in the
around
door.
the door after closing it shut. In no sense, a hermeneutic seal. However,
I shape water
okay,
over the frames of the door and then just block it like with ice, and I just keep freezing it over and over because it's probably really hot, but I just keep freezing it over and over.
And after, and how long are you going to do that
Pressure.
for?
What?
Gonna
I'll do it for like
step
a
away.
minute, and then see if it like has stopped, and then like whatever, like if it's still going.
Wait, so how long?
Then I'll probably
like a minute.
For like a minute.
Okay. After a minute, and you let the water, you take away the ice, turn it back into water, and move it back into your gourd. And as soon as you do, smoke continues to billow out from around the door.
Moku shrugs, cancels bonfire. It's probably too late. Everything's already in flames, and just walks away.
Okay. And as Moku walks away from the smoke behind him, he continues to leak out as he walks away. And that's what happens. Oh man!
Wait,
walking away from an explosion like a boss.
It's gonna be more like one of those underground coal fires, probably.
Actually, excuse me. It would have bursted out with a little bit of force as the ice broke.
Also, there's moss in this room too,
yes.
Right? Oh lord.
Again. We clearly didn't think things.
Round 2.
Are you gonna try and blow up the entire citadel at this point?
At this point, the fire's just gonna travel all along the moss, along all the corridors, and this whole downstairs is gonna be on fire.
No.
So I guess Moku's just gonna keep icing the door to try to let it like smoke itself out, like burn out all the oxygen.
So just to be clear, when you lit the fire in the kind of the corner of the room, it's not like the whole room instantly lit on fire, but the small area that you lit on fire was producing an inordinate amount of smoke compared to the amount that was on fire. Does that make sense?
So it's not like an especially flammable thing.
No, but it's very smoky, and you can tell by the continuing smoke coming out that there is still something on fire inside.
All right,
but it's not necessarily the whole room from what you saw before you closed the door.
Okay,
I'm gonna walk back over here. I'm gonna kick the door down, and I'm gonna cast Create or Destroy Water to create a little cloud of rain inside the room.
And put out the fire.
And put out
Go
the
ahead
fire.
and roll an Arcana check.
Okay. Sorry, navigating my character sheet. Boink.
And as you do, you can sense that as the plant, the moss and stuff begins to burn, that there is something magical about it. And as you go to direct the water from your spell against the fire, you are able to do so accurately and effectively, causing there to be little to no detrimental effects to your actions, and it is handled quite well. As Connery looks back over his shoulder at Moku with just a little bit of disgust in his face, he then walks away from the door.
You can hear me grumbling about dragons.
Okay.
As I beeline back to the other door.
Okay. So this door is once again closed but not locked.
Open it.
Okay.
I might just open it. I'm in nerd mode, so I'm gonna open the door.
Okay, and the door opens. So for the rest of you, or for Connery at the least, as you move forward now, you see the dragon carving with the slightly glowing red eyes. And
there's a bit of a hallway for it.
You also see a 5-foot diameter circular tile here in front of it in the ground that has runes carved around the outside.
Huh. Okay. And there's a painting or something over here I'm seeing on the wall?
A painting? Where?
Oh, no, those are monsters. Sorry. There's just like I was seeing the edges of monster tokens.
They're the
There you go.
bodies.
Sorry. I'm looking.
Oops.
That's all good. Can anyone read the language that is around the tiles? Kind of look at Theo.
What language is it?
One moment. So those of you who know Draconic can see that the markings around it are in Draconic, and they read, "Let the sorceress power illuminate my spirit."
Hmm.
Want to cast?
Cast that light
As
cantrip.
you investigate, looking close enough to read that, first of all, who looks close enough to read it? Those of you who speak Draconic. Which one of you guys?
I guess I'm going
Okay,
to
so
investigate
as
it first.
Acro moves up close enough to be able to read it, go ahead, if you would please, and roll initiative.
Oh, shoot. Why'd I do that? I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
It's all good.
Man, 8. I seem very consistent with rolling 8s for initiative lately.
You gotta work on your reaction time there. You're quick, but
Okay, I am a little bit scared.
Just because I'm agile doesn't mean that I have the best speed out of everybody.
Are we gonna wipe?
I don't like it when the GM says he's scared.
No.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of scary. This is a creature though that is a little bit notorious. I can explain it to you guys after the session if you like.
Okay.
Notorious
I
for
don't
all the
see it.
parties.
Does anyone have a tactical nuke?
So did everybody roll? Except
Yeah.
Xander, because I'm being bad.
Really, Moku? Really?
Are we gonna want our paladin friend back?
Need another tank.
He's already
We
he's already
sorely
left
miss
the
him.
building.
Smite us, so vicious smiter.
Okay. So as you move to investigate it, Bowmander's still producing light, right? Or yeah, Bowmander's still
Uh-huh.
producing light. Okay. You see from the shadows behind this dragon emerges a creature almost made of darkness and shadow, shaped vaguely in the form of a human. It moves forward. The light seems to touch it and almost be absorbed into it, as it's hard to see details as to what its features actually look like. And in the moment when Thea is looking down, distracted by investigating the runes, it strikes out. A 15 does not hit. Okay. As it strikes out towards Thea, she gets a sense of something. She sees a movement in the corner of her eyes, and her head snaps up as she jerks back out of the way of its attack. At the same time, from the other side of the statue, another appears. And this one, seeing Thea's reaction, actually moves right to Conry and strikes as well. And this time, this one misses as well. As Conry has watched the other and seen Thea, his eyes snap back to the statue, sees it coming, and actually raises his cloak in a flourish as he moves to the side out of the way of the strike.
Olay.
Okay. Next, first up, once again, is Jen.
Good.
Yeah.
Gonna smack this dude.
Okay, with an arrow.
Hunter's mark and shoot
Okay.
him.
Oh, no.
Okay. And as your the magic of your focus solidifies around it, and your arrow is drawn back. It flies piercing through the shadow. And as it strikes, it seems as if it does not land. The hunter's mark is what kind of damage? Do you remember? Is it the same type? Oh, it's the same type of damage as the weapon, so it's piercing. So 13 gets reduced to 7. It seems to not take as much damage as you would have expected from the weapon as you strike out. Next up is Conry.
I'm going to. What do I want to do?
I don't know why, but suddenly, with the idea of you summoning the tentacle, I keep wanting to say, release the Kraken.
Not a horrible idea. I am going to hex the one closest to me.
The one that's already got the hunter's mark?
Okay.
Yeah. Because hunter's mark only works for Jian, right? So I'm going to hex him. And I'm going to curse its. Let's see. It's a spirit thingy. It doesn't make sense to go after like its constitution or its strength. What would Ghosty thing care about?
I don't know. Wisdom, charisma.
They're checks. I guess. Oh, actually, that's a good point. They're checks. So it would only. That's the problem with hexes. It's not like super great for combat. You know what? I'm just gonna say I'm gonna curse its wisdom for now.
Wisdom checks.
Because I don't know. Yeah. And I am going to disengage the heck out of there. And let's see, how far can I get? Without. Let's see. Will I still have vision there?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out here.
Okay. Next up is Xander. Xander is going to step forward, drawing his bow and striking at the one right next to Thea with his arrow. I'm getting a little bit of lag here. There it is. And his strike is true, flying through the shadow, leaving a hole that slowly closes up behind it, dealing some damage to the creature. When we're looking at cunning action, you can take bonus for dash, disengage, or hide. Okay, he's just gonna stand there then. Bowmender.
Bowmender is confused as to what these things are. So because of his confusion, he just angry and started raging.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use rage.
Got it.
I'll go up to the close one. I'm gonna start slashing.
Go for it. Okay. But that was not a reckless attack because you didn't call for it. Okay, so it's just a regular hit. So 13 reduced to 7. Wait, no, it's always rounded down actually. So 6. Excuse me. Okay, so as you strike through, your blade cleaves through the shadow, leaving behind a ripple, which seems to slowly close up behind it, as it seems like you've hurt the creature as it rears back with silence. There's no noise. It seems almost terrifying, and yet you know that you've landed a solid blow. Next up is Alta.
I think I'm gonna vicious mock the hex dude.
Like, what are you gonna say to the guy?
I don't even know. He's like, just a spirit. I'm just gonna make I don't know, just make twinkling noises and make it think of, I don't know, light or something.
Okay. Go for it.
Well, I'm going to make the
Just start
sound
singing
of
Twinkle
lava
Twinkle Little Stars.
So,
Oh, dude, Moku,
Yeah,
dude.
that's good.
Okay, yeah, Moku, I give up that.
and it strikes true against the shadow as its form shrinks back from the magically enhanced words that strike at it. Go ahead and roll a d4.
Oh,
Max damage.
that's the effectiveness of that burn. Oh my gosh.
Yes, and you feel the strike land true, feeling as much power as you have ever felt when casting this spell, as it sinks into the shadow creature.
Oh,
Moku,
oh yeah. By the way, are we recording this?
I am recording the audio. Only.
You should just say what is this?
Oh,
just to
sorry.
say how-
What Moku wrote that Alton said
Yeah.
is, "You so ugly, even the light don't want to touch you." So yes, what a beautiful burn.
That is really good.
Thank you. Good call, Dwayne.
Yeah.
And it burns into the shadow. Moku, it is your turn.
All right, I am going to. Should I use it now? Sure, why not? How beaten up does this guy look? Or can we?
They both look to have taken a good amount of damage, but look like they can take at least that much again.
All right. On the bottom one, I am going to cast the ice shard thing again.
Ice knife?
Okay. Go ahead and roll the attack.
What? I'm sorry, I didn't know if you were talking to me or not.
I was saying, Moku, go ahead and roll the attack.
Oh.
I can't hear or see anything.
He's having technical difficulties right now.
Updating my graphics driver at the same time.
Isn't Andy like an officially like
Oh, there we go.
AV person? Can you hear us, Andy? It's love, Andy. It's love, I promise. Okay, so the knife itself misses, but he needs to make a dex save.
Please.
He fails spectacularly. So
Yay.
he takes ice damage. So as the knife flies forward, landing in the ground beneath it, ice shatters out from it. And as the ice passes through the shadow, they seem to leave behind streaks that seem to close up more slowly than as if it was unaffected. However, it still feels as if the cold. 1 second, let me check. And the cold damage did not deal as much damage as Moku would have hoped. Next up is this one. So this one is going to strike out at Bowmander. And he will miss. And this other one is actually going to move up next to you guys and do the same, striking out at Bowmander. And Bowmander, I believe that hits you.
What
is your AC?
Hold up. 16.
16. No, it just barely misses.
It's barely
okay.
missed.
And so as both of them seek to strike out at Bowmander, the raging lizard folk stands there unaffected by any of the attacks. Next up is Akra.
Wait,
yes.
Will. Andy can see like everything.
I can see literally everything. Like I have no dark on my map. I'm gonna refresh.
Yeah, go ahead and just refresh in that case.
Oh man.
Oh.
Spoilers.
Well, since he's already been
Spoilers.
spoiled like 2 or 3 times and done a really good job of it, I'm not going to worry. Because I've messed stuff up when he's been a spider before. So,
All right.
anyways.
At this point, I'm just gonna do my standby short sword, and unarmed strike combo.
Beautiful. The one right in front of you?
Well, the short sword will go for the one right in front of me, but we'll see where the unarmed strike lands next.
Okay.
If the spirit fades after the
right.
sword,
so as
then
right. So as the short sword strikes out, landing, cleaving through one of the arms that is actually reaching out for Bowmander, it leaves a streak through it, separating it off, and the arm seems to dissipate before growing back out from its arm. It still turns to look at you, ready to continue, as you then seem seek to strike out with your other fist, punching forward. It moves. It seems as if your fist touches nothing as it flies forward before being retracted, having returned without dealing any damage.
that could have gone better.
Next up is Jin. Can you still see everything, Andy, or did that fix it?
Fix it.
When in doubt, restart, refresh.
Turn it off and back
Turn
on
it off
again.
and on again.
The usual, the vanilla ranger.
Okay. Which one?
The
one
dude
that's marked.
with the honors
The
mark.
one that's marked.
Yeah.
Okay. 13 hits, doing 15. Okay. And as your arrow pierces through somewhere in the center of its chest, the hole from the arrow starts to open, and as it looks like for a moment like it's going to start to reform and close again, instead the magic seems to break as the whole shadow fades down into nothingness.
What a way to yeet an arrow.
Conry,
Yeah, yeet.
Yeet!
Your Conry makes some grumbling noises about wasted spells. Boink, boink. I'm going after the other one with both
you're
of
gonna
those.
summon a tentacle
Oh, yeah, and I'm going to ignore the hex modifier.
Instead of moving the hunter's mark, you're gonna summon a tentacle.
I guess
Connery didn't use the hunter's mark.
Not
that's
hunter's
true.
mark,
That's true. The
the
hex. Yeah, I guess I should. Well, okay, I already saw the rolls. That feels like cheating, though. Just give me the Eldritch Blast.
With the hex. Okay. So that's force and necrotic. Okay. So as the hunter's mark, as the hex moves to the new creature,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the first roll because it's the same attack roll, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yep. And as it moves over, your Eldritch Blast lands, punches a hole through it as well. And as it does, the damage that is dealt from the blast itself seems solid, the first solid hit that has been landed during this fight. However, the hex itself, as you see the magical cloud around it seek to add an additional impact, itself is blocked by the magic of the creature, and it remains unharmed from that second part of the damage. Excuse me.
Wow.
Okay.
Next up, Xander will take a shot with his bow. Whoops. I didn't mean to click it twice. And as he does, once again, after the first collapsing from an arrow, the second follows in a similar fashion with an arrow hole that seems to attempt to close and is unable to do so. And it dissipates.
Wow. That was
Creepy.
fast.
Wow, there was only 2 enemies, and there's 7 of you, so.
Yeah.
Touche.
I can see how the ability on its attack could get really ugly.
Yeah, the strength drain it's one
Yeah.
of the meanest things because it literally just kills you if it goes. Now, none of you guys have that low of strength, so it's not that big of a risk, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys finished that.
When they dissipate, they completely dissipate. There's
Yeah.
like
They're gone. There's nothing left.
furious scribbling sounds.
Okay, so Thea or Akra, as you're reading, you read that. Did you read it in your head? I believe, and then the combat started, correct? Or did you read it out loud? Okay.
Yeah.
Or you read it in your. Thank you.
Do you want to try and? So what did it say, Akra? All the other wolf statues so far seem to be voice activated.
I'm a little hesitant after the last one that almost got us injured, but
Yeah,
suppose
you see Connery slinking off back up the corridor as he says this.
I'm not oblivious to that. Come on.
Bowbender also reads the text.
But to be safe, I'm telling the others, you might want to stand back. I'm gonna see what happens if I read it aloud anyway.
Okay. So as you read
So then,
aloud.
well, I'm telling everybody to move back
Okay.
first. Once they do that, then I'll read
So
it.
does Bowmander decide to move back?
Nah, Bowbender just stays.
Oh no, yeah, I
Oh, and Jen stays too. Okay.
I stick.
So being waved back. So as Thea reads again aloud, let the sorcerer's power illuminate my spirit. While standing on the tile, a puff of spectral flame harmlessly envelops Thea, coming around her, and as she jerks in surprise, feeling no heat or pain, she then relaxes back in. And as it kind of settles down, almost seeming to seek into her, Akra will have advantage on all charisma checks for 24 hours.
Ah, sweet. I mean, I don't know how that'll be useful unless I intimidate somebody, but hey, it's cool.
We make a new fan club. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's pretty cool.
Wait.
Right.
Okay.
So, okay, yeah.
Okay. So that's that. What else do you do?
There's one door here, right?
There is a door.
That's.
Well,
yeah.
Are we
that's
gonna
the door down?
Are we gonna head down there, or are we gonna clear out the rest of this floor first?
Wait, is that the stairs?
Yeah.
That's what Moku said.
Oh, yeah, then we should clear out the rest then.
Yeah. Well, we'll learn from our previous.
Head all the way back.
Okay. So we're heading to the south doors.
okay. So
Yeah.
you move to
Before
Before we leave the room, can I just do a quick investigation? Just
go
for
ahead and
the sake
actually
of-
roll me perception.
Okay.
Moku's gonna say, make sure you check behind that dragon
Okay.
casting guidance.
Okay. Actually, with that, go ahead and roll with guidance and advantage.
Guidance and advantage. I don't know how to click on guidance, but sure.
One moment.
My perception is pretty garagio.
So, over. Oh, it's not turned on. Give me a moment. I'll turn it on for you. Okay, so down underneath passive perception and your calligrapher's tools, there's a global skill modifier. It's called 1d4
Okay, I
guidance.
see it.
So you can check and uncheck that as needed.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Wow, that was awful beyond all measure.
So, as Connery seeks to help, or as Connery is sought to be helped out by Moku to look around, he is completely distracted, actually, from seeing anything around the room by the beautiful carving of the dragon statue and the light glow in its eyes. They seem to take up an inordinate amount of his attention. as he's there, and he does not notice anything else throughout the room as he moves around, taking a quick look at things.
Can I come in and check also?
Let's go do whatever else we're gonna do, and then maybe we can roll another
On the way
check
back.
on the way back through.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That is awful.
Okay.
I guess we're headed out of the
So the plan was to head
room
back
and
down to the doors that hadn't been opened yet, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There
Yeah.
are 2 down
Okay.
here.
Go ahead and have everybody gather up by whichever one you're going to open.
Gather.
I need to get down there first. I don't even know. Roll 20 is getting slow again.
Yeah, it was a little slow just now for me too.
All right. Go in order.
Okay, so you're going to go. Okay, so as you approach the second western
refreshing.
door, you open the door and find something that looks very similar to what you've seen so far. You find another octagonal room with nothing but plants and fungus inside of it.
We still have the initiative order up when I last
You're
checked,
correct. I
by
should
the
have
way.
got rid of that. Excuse me.
Did we ever check the room that burned? Like, did we ever find if there was anything in there?
Yes. You guys looked at it very closely.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
There's another door at the south.
There is another door at the south. You guys gonna head down there?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. And it is a little laggy. Okay, so
Yeah,
are you
and my map's not fully reloaded either.
Okay.
So
Are you guys gonna open the door?
Yes.
Okay. As you open this door, revealed behind it are several goblin commoners working in the room on tending to the garden. You also see one regular goblin or a goblin somewhat like warrior as you open the door.
Acra, do your magic. Charm them.
Sure.
This is your fan club. This is your potential fan club.
come on, really? I don't have that good of charisma.
Maybe they've heard of their Lord and Savior, Moku.
Yeah. Start out with that.
Yeah, my map's still having a hard time loading up right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just seeing spiral. I'm just getting the waiting arrows on you guys. Ah, shoot. Hold on. Gotta click out of this and try again. Like, really, it just really got weird there. Work. Come on.
They're not trying to murder us yet.
Well, I'm kind of waiting for Zach before we continue.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't need to be sorry.
Like I said, trying. Yeah, roll 20 is acting really weird.
Oh no, that's bad.
What? What happened?
No. It's on my end. Don't worry about it.
Oh. Now I just need to make sure I can actually find you guys again. Well, at least the cameras are working. So that's a plus so far. Scanning out to try and find where. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So, what were we seeing in the other room? Because I missed what you were saying. Well,
so the other room was once again just another octagonal room with moss and some fungus in it. So as this door opens, you see before you 3 commoners just gathering up fungus. They to take back, or excuse me, they're gathering up fungus in the area. As you guys open the door, they actually see behind Bowmander, they see Moku, and you see the goblin's eyes light up, and you hear those of you who understand Goblin in the tongue of the goblins, "Savior, Savior!" And I presume that Connery likes to
Yes.
do another little Halo at the same time as Moku walks forward. What do you? What do
And
you?
then I do
Go ahead.
It's just another silent image halo.
and then I come and say, "Behold the Savior who calls the flames of death to cease."
Nice.
I ain't saying a word. Fine.
Oh.
Connery coughs something under his breath.
Oh man.
Moku's like not socially adept enough to like really play this off, and so he's just gonna be like kind of fumbling through his words. Just yes, tell everything we need to know. This lady will ask you for what you know.
Oh, okay.
And then just like kind of like awkwardly turn around and go back, and I'm pointing at Thea to do a lot of the questioning here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, Akron?
I guess I would probably ask about the missing party members and that we were searching for, because I think we're still trying to search for them at this point.
Okay. So as you kind of ask the goblins about party members and that kind of information, they just kind of like look around at each other, almost frightened of being disappointing the Savior. But they respond back that they don't really know. They just know that some were taken before down further along, but they don't know anything more than that. They just are here to tend to the fungus. That's what they do.
Okay.
I see. So I'm guessing by further down, they're referring to further down into the citadel, like a lower level. I guess in that case, that means we gotta head back north where the staircase was.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So
okay, so let's have everybody head back up to the staircase. I'll move the tokens just to make it easy.
All right.
Hopefully, if Roll20 cooperates.
I'll be right back.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So as you guys come here, Connery, Moku can let you guys have been able to let you know that these are just doors that they can easily be opened that lead forward towards the staircase, which I will get rid of. As you guys pass back through, I think Jen wanted to take a look around once again as he's passing through, getting ready before moving on. Do you want to do the same? We'll just call that a perception roll with advantage for Jen. Okay, so as you take your time to look around the room and the statue as well as the tile with runes are there, you move past them, and actually behind the statue in the wall, kind of in the area where the shadows came out from, you find a loose stone in the wall. And there's a little compartment hidden behind it where you find 34 gold pieces, and you find 2 flasks of alchemist's fire.
Wait, is the alchemist fire? Is that the thing that you can breathe fire?
No. So alchemist's fire
Yeah.
is a sticky adhesive fluid that ignites when exposed to air. As an action, you can throw the flask 20 feet, up to 20 feet, shattering on impact. You have to make a ranged attack against the creature that you're throwing it at. And if it hits, the target takes 1d4 fire damage at the start of each of its turns from then on. And it can put itself out. Yeah, basically a Molotov, kind of.
Okay, I'm gonna give
like
the gold and the Molotovs to Alton. So Alton has extra option for damage because he really doesn't do much damage, and he's our treasurer. So
Okay. So yeah, so he can use that. We've got to make sure that he notes it down when he gets back. So I'm using the voice recorder as my timer, and we have only about 14 minutes left on the 3 hours because we're getting close to the time. Yeah, I'll write it down here. So 34 gold pieces. Okay. I think this is not a bad place to kind of call it before we continue down into continue along the citadel, I guess I should say. Down the stairs that have been discovered, and seeing what we find as we continue. Awesome, guys. Thank you, guys, for being here. Is there anything else you guys want to do before we kind of call it in game?
Not that I can think of at this point.
Awesome. Okay.
I think we're good.
Very cool. So once again, sorry for last time, and thank you guys for being here this time. We should be good to do this again in 2 weeks. Staying kind of a little bit on schedule that way. I'll let you know if not. I got to figure out what's wrong with the bot. I don't know. It wasn't working last time I checked. I don't know if there was a Discord update or something, but I was having a lot of trouble trying to get it to work. So I'll take a look at that before next time as well.
All right.
And was that you, Andy? Is it making noise for everybody else?
No, I'm not hearing anything.
Because I have it muted, so I think that might be why. Oh yeah, it's server muted. That's why I heard. Let me undo that and see what happens.
Oh, you had that groovy bot. I hear something.
great selection on music.
Luckily, I have the ability to server mute bots like that.
So
okay.
All right.
Any reason why you choose IU?
Because it's IU.
I don't know. I was just testing something. And I was just like, play.
It's phenomenal. She's number one in all the.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay, guys. So yeah. So those shadows are one of the very few low-level monsters that can literally just kill a person. If you had 8 strength and they hit you twice and they roll 4 twice, your character just dies. There's nothing you can do about it. And because it's a low-level monster, most parties, you don't have any resurrection magic until you're level 5. That's the earliest you can get it. So that's why I was saying like I'm a little scared. But then I remembered afterwards, because I kind of forgot, that the lowest strength score is a 12. So it would be very, very unlikely for any of you guys to really have to worry about it too much. But when you're rolling for stats, sometimes getting like a 7 or an 8 strength only is not it's not that unheard of. So just something to kind of keep in mind. Okay? I'm going to stop the recording right there. And yeah.